Howdy. I haven't gamed in a while on stream, so I thought I would tonight since we don't have bourbon and boarding. And this new game came out about, a week ago, I think. And I've kind of already broken it. So my equipment, I've already got Mythic on everything. All the characters I've leveled up except for the sniper. And we're going to see if we can do some of the hardest runs tonight and see how that goes. But I think I've got a couple builds that are going to be able to do it. So let's jump in. First thing we'll do is I've got a couple tokens for random hunts, so we'll see if we can get any new gear out of this real quick because they're short, and then we'll jump into the Risk 6 level, which is the hardest level on the game. So, howdy, awesome one. So basically, it's a little mix of like Diablo and a roguelite. Each mission is timed. You have bosses come out at certain times, and you just try to level up your gear while also trying to put together the best build you can get out of the different level ups that you get. It's been rather entertaining, but it's also a little chaotic on the screen. So hopefully, it's actually not going to be doing a bunch of lagging on YouTube and Twitch and Kick. So with these random runs, it gives you a build already put together and kind of maxed out, just to have you challenge a random boss with a shortened mode where you're attacking regular enemies just for a couple minutes. I do like the regular runs better because I get to pick the stuff. But it typically gives you some pretty good stuff on this, so. And this is the best way to gear up your characters. It is very hard to actually see what's going on this game sometimes once you get all your stuff leveled up. That one went pretty well, pretty easy. And we get a new pact. We get a mythic grenade. Bullets apply a stack of chill, throw damage up. The pact is the good thing because I have not gotten all of these yet. But I have this specific pact already, and it's actually equipped. Then we got some mythic gloves, summons the fire dragon, as you can see on the screen where it's paused in the upper left. That is the fire dragon coming in. So I've already got something doing that. Might as well grab the other gear to dismantle. And that's a run. on the random. So far, the hardest part of this game is trying to remember what different abilities go in what categories. Let's see, I've got a gloves tab, and it's not very well optimized for a controller. The menu controls are horrible on controller, but it is in early access, so can forgive him a little bit. And we'll put the pact in there and then dismantle everything else. Then I think we'll go do a real run. So we'll start with the first level, the swamp. We're going to change the risk level over to the hardest. So from 5, enemy damage goes up from 450 to 750. It is considered high risk even with my gear, so I'm likely to die. But that's the challenge that's left. So, what's up, Smokey? So the key to getting a good run with the equipment that I've got, because I've got a shotgun that only fires one bullet or one shot and then reloads, is I'm looking for a very specific ability called Shockwave Protocol. And what it does is every time you reload, it knocks everybody back and does damage. So, excellent way to get everything built up just off of one major ability and because of the gun I've got. So we're going to do some banning and re-rolling until we get the things showing up that we want. So it's a psionic ability, and I think it's under either electricity or yeah, we'll take extra experience. It's under electricity or inferno, I think. So psionic. That way when we get it, it'll have some extra damage and range. Because that's the other trick, is getting the range up big enough that nothing can get to you. So we're going to re-roll this and see if we can find it. We could take Arc Chain. That's like Chain Lightning. We'll take the Thunder Dash, even though I've only got a certain amount of re-rolls and bans. So we'll take a Legendary. What that one does is lightning strikes for every certain amount you've moved. Okay, we don't want Frost, I don't think. Hey, Davina. I'll probably end up getting Thunderstrike at some point. All right, we're going to alter. Don't want corrosive. Well, I guess we're just taking the Thunder Dash, even though I skipped it like 12 times. I'm going to need to get that Shockwave Protocol early to be able to make this work. There's Plague Spread. That's a mythic level ability. So we'll take it automatically. And that'll spread everything to everybody else. We'll keep going for the psionic, hoping that we get that ability. And we got another mythic. So tactical skills can be used twice. Which, like the giant fire dragons, are tactical. Technically, so is my poison aura. And I'm getting all of that stuff just from my gear. And another mythic. So yeah, my gear has a lot of upgrades to it to make it to where I get mythics a lot more commonly than you're supposed to. It's kind of nice. All right, we're going to start banishing a few things. Hopefully the game audio is coming through and not too loud. I had to set this up a little bit weird, but it doesn't look like there's any audio coming through. So I'm not sure. Game audio is like 1%. All right, I'll have to mess with it in between runs. We don't want any Mechnatech. This has the potential to be a very short run because I'm not getting the things that I need. Hey, Lindsay. Yeah, I'll try to fix the game audio in between rounds. Those fire dragons make it almost impossible to see things on the screen. Still not giving it to me. I'm wondering if it's under explosion instead of inferno. Well, I guess we'll just go with what we can and try that build on the next run. Because this one's not going to survive. And let me see if I can fix the audio. Alright, hopefully that fixed it. Let me know if it's too loud. Alright, if it's pretty quiet, then I'll bump it up just a little bit. Yeah, it's very much like Vampire Survivor. Same types of abilities and everything, too. I got a sawed-off shotgun. So I believe it's at the 7-minute mark you get your first boss, and then the 14-minute mark is the final boss for the stage. We'll go halfway in between on the sound, call it a happy medium. Yeah, Lindsay, I've got a big backlog right now. But then I get hyper-focused in on one game. Like, I've played this all week. Yeah, it is a little bit like Gauntlet 64. Yeah, I'm thinking what screwed up everything on this run was I, at some point, accidentally took a mecha tech ability instead of banishing it, which then got rid of the explosion as the third option, and the explosion, I think, has the thing I was looking for, so we'll be more careful next time. Alright, first boss, the Venomous Widow. So when the red circle appears, there's kind of a flash within it. And if you time it right, you can get a perfect dodge like that. It leaves an after image of you. It doesn't cost you one of your dashes, and you don't take any damage. Well, maybe we can get through this run. New helmet. It might be interesting. Get a little more speed. So in the time field, it's kind of like a super type of thing. Everything slows down when you're in the time field. A little bit of chain lightning. It's another weird thing that they've got going. If you get 2 level ups at the same time, you cannot use your controller for the second level up for some reason. It won't read any inputs. So you've got to go to the mouse for that. Yeah, the nice thing about these games is there's really only running around. Like, it's auto-shooting everything. The only thing I control is the grenade and the time field. You can manually shoot, but it's this white cursor, and if you can see how slow it moves, it's almost impossible to manually aim unless you're using the mouse. I think the Steam Machine's going to be a lot more than we all want it to be. Especially with the issue of the memory right now. It's going to be interesting to see if we've got enough damage to take out the boss. Things are staying alive a lot longer than they should be. Running into trouble. Weapon range doesn't help with damage. Alright, we gotta last 30 more seconds and we get the boss. Alright, we'll let the thing play since we haven't seen it. It's an angry end. We're not doing much damage. I'm rooted. Alright, we lost our first revive. Mostly because I couldn't see what attack he was doing. And we're rooted again. I don't know what gave me experience to get a level up. Get out. Alright, it just used our other revive, so we're down to the last. That doesn't help. Rooted. We got it. That is only the second time I've beaten that on the highest risk level, so pretty good for a broken run. And we got a new 20 magazine shotgun, which can be good for some different builds than the one I'm trying to do. Alright, so what did all the damage? Even though there was very little of it. Just the shotgun. Nothing else could beat the basic attack. It's crazy. Alright, this time we make sure we keep explosion in the mix. Hey, Tina. Alright, so we're going to save these things and pact, which is goggles, wristband, and chip. And it does the ice attack enhancement, so don't care about that at the moment. Alright, we'll try the desert. I haven't beaten this one on risk 6. So we want Inferno, Explosion, not corrosive, not mecha, not corrosive, don't care about gunsmith, explosive. So in this, since I only have one round in the gun, that specific ability, there it is, Shockwave Protocol. It is an explosion. So explosive round makes the first round in the magazine explode. So since I only have one round, everything's an explosive. Shockwave, after reloading, release an explosive shockwave around you. That's going to be our main damage dealer, because I've only got one bullet in each before each reload, so there is always a shockwave right after I shoot. So we're going to concentrate on leveling that up and trying to get the size on that up. Because I want to see if I can get through the whole thing with it basically just being the shockwave doing the most damage by like 80% difference. Oh, we lost one of our dashes for 45 seconds. No corrosive. I think we might end up taking lightning, but we want Inferno to also get here. I think we'll just take Inferno rounds so that the gun is shooting fiery rounds. And what we're looking for is psionic skill damage. So the other characters and the other guns in the game, for the most part, there is a guy that has a rocket launcher. But for the most part, the shotgun is the best one to try to do these one bullet builds. And there's quite a few things that synergize along with it. Alright, let's ban Inferno Mastery. Let's ban Blazing Embers. We'll go ahead and do Fire Tongue just because it's legendary. So like every 3 shots it'll shoot out a flame. It's actually better for like the small machine guns type play, but it's not gonna hurt here. No mech attack, no corrosive. Yeah, so it's gotta be lightning is the other one that we take. I think that's where the psionic ability is. Yeah, it's definitely one of those like Diablo where you just get better gear and that's what makes you actually stronger. It really doesn't want to give me what I need. There's a mythic. Explosion Tech has a 10% chance to deal 500% damage. Thing is, at least for this character, I don't think I've found a piece of gear that I can upgrade to in at least a day. Alright, we're just going to take Thunder to lock in the lightning as our third element. That way we don't accidentally get stuck with corrosive or frost. Start banning some stuff. Laser drone gone, that's gone. I guess we can keep flame dash as our dash ability. It just makes flames on the ground. We will ban tactical. don't really care about the cooldowns because we're doing one shot. What this game needs is the ability to turn the particle effects down a little bit more without it looking absolutely basic. Pile driver is a shotgun, but it's got a magazine of 8. But it also has the ability to pierce 2. That may be interesting. The one that's making everybody explode is the shockwave. It's the blue ring that's going out. I mean, some of the things, somebody's getting hit by some of the other stuff, but the shockwave's what's putting everybody down at the moment. Increase the range. That'll make the shockwave bigger. We want to get it to where it's taking up the whole screen. Alright, we've got 1 ban left available. I think 1 altar and no rerolls. Auxiliary tactical fire rate. We'll just get plus 10 health on level up. I may take off whatever piece of gear is causing the flame dragon, just for less annoyance. It does really big damage, but it also makes it impossible to see anything. There's some more range and damage. Must have gotten a magnet somewhere. There's a mythic. Chess piece. Deal 18% bonus damage to enemies with status ailments. Not an upgrade. once I throw down that electromagnetic storm, it's going to be even harder to see what's going on. I'll save it for bosses, though. Right now, we seem to be doing fine with the regular guys. The elites are lasting for a couple seconds longer than I'd like them to, but they're not getting to me. I don't want weapon range, I want the psionic range. I like the bloody mist that they all turn into. The Flesh Tyrant. Oh, that's what I'm missing, is that time field. That was half the reason I was able to survive last game. Shoot. That one hurt a little bit. Oh no. There goes one life. Perfect dodge the first two attacks and missed the third. There goes the other life. So we've got one life to get through the rest of the stage and the second boss. Hopefully we get a hell of a lot stronger. Got a few mythics. Got a chip. Tech bands instead of alternations. Ice shards. And drops medkits. Oh, we got a new rocket launcher. 4 magazine. Ow. That was troublesome. I'm not getting stuff to make the shockwave stronger. Oh, that was the one I needed. I clicked the wrong one. That was the range on the shockwave. Really don't like these sniper guys. There, that'll make it bigger. I don't think I'm getting through this boss. None of the gambling has gone right. Alright, we can level that up one more time, and then it's maxed. Add damage at the cost of health. Alright, that's maxed. Alright, we're at the boss. It'd be nice if this magnet pulls in everything and the thing lands on the boss's head because it'll do damage. Forgot about this guy's stupid attack. Yeah. That gun. Not easy. Well, we got the build online. Could have been better. Maybe try to do the same build but on level 5 and practice the boss a little. And I think instead of... Actually, we'll do the random hunt real quick. So we want Inferno, Explosion, and I think we do want the Mecha Tech so that we get the Time Freeze instead of the electricity. Yeah, that didn't go so well, awesome one. Boss is kind of a pain in the ass. Actually, I think we'll go Explosion, no Inferno, and we'll go Frost, because the other thing you can do with the one bullet shotgun, or one shell shotgun, is there's a Frost shield that every time you reload, it puts a shield up on you. So maybe Frost, Inferno, Explosion. We won't have the time stop, but we'll have a shield. Much better. And we got another shotgun. It is just slightly worse than the one I've got. Same gun, just a different version of it, or different stats on it, and they're not as good. Unfortunate. Combustion Protocol did all the damage there, but that was mostly to the trash mobs, because it doesn't do anything on bosses. All right, the usual dump stuff. And then destroy a whole bunch of gear that a whole bunch of people would like to have right now. Okay, so desert, we will keep it at 6. But we're going to go frost, inferno, explosion is what we're hunting for. I hate those stupid dragons. No corrosive. No lightning. Yes, inferno. We want extra psionic because that's what we're going to be beefing up as much as we can. No mecha. There's frost. Let's see if we can find the shield. We'll just lock in frost with the status vulnerability, I guess. Some more rerolls. I can't take it. It locks us into corrosive. Hey, Jaffel. So we want psionic damage. That one goes off if we get damaged. It's not helping me. I don't think I've even seen explosive yet. There's our time field, which we can't take because it's mecha. Hey, Tina. We need to get explosive to show up. Seriously? 2 mythics? Alright. Guess we're taking that. I'm gonna have to play test and figure out if it shows a mythic, is it really locking you into that category or not? Tina, I imagine on your phone it's just a whole bunch of lights flashing. Alright, we're gonna ban that. We're gonna ban the icicle array. And hopefully get our frost shield at some point. Ban. Ban. I guess we're taking a chase. It'll give me anything except for what I need. Legendary damage boost, I guess. Where's that? There's the sniper. This is so bad. Plan out a build and can't get any portion of it to start. Since we've already got that one, I guess we'll take another hit on it. I don't think I've gotten anything that has synergy with the one shot at the moment. Hey, Bell. No hockey tonight because Brian is under the weather. So we're going to do a makeup show next week, which should work out because after, I think, Thursday, the NHL's on its Olympic break. So we'll have one last show before the Olympics. Well, we got a mythic that spreads fire to everybody when they die. And probably some frost. I'm getting hit a lot by something and I don't know what it is because I can't see anything. I think Brian said he's just got a bit of a stomach bug, but there's my frost shield, so now every time I reload, I get a new instance of shield. Yeah, that's not working. My own polar vortex made it to where I can't see. Yeah, this run is screwed. Yep. With that, I think it's time for first bourbon of the night, because that one kind of pissed me off. A little bit of Weller's Special Reserve. Combustion Protocol, then the sawed-off shotgun, and then the dragon that's not even leveled up. Yeah, that was about as bad a run as you can get going for a targeted build. Did I even pick up any equipment? No. That's how bad that was. Alright, we'll take it back down to risk 5. No lightning. There's my shockwave. Already a better start than last time, except it's just the blue level of it, not the... Alright, we are going to take the time field. So we're not going to take frost. Watch, on this level 5, this is just going to be disgusting how easy this is going to be with this build. Especially if I actually get the things I need for it. Mythic already. Same one we always get, but fine with me. Be really nice to get the upgrade to purple or yellow on the Shockwave protocol. Go ahead and lock in our grenade. So on Inferno, we need to be watching for territory expansion, I think, is the name of it. Because that'll boost the range of that blast. None of those. I should have banned those. Alright. 30% chance of success. On success, we get an extra charge for the rest of the run. If we fail, we lose a charge for 45 seconds. We lost a charge. There we go. Got it up to purple. Starting to see people splatter. Shockwave is working. Get the refresh time down on the times field. Can use it more often. Not that I use it during this part. It'll be pretty much bosses only or last resort. Then the other thing we can take to go with our one bullet build is the explosive round once I've gotten this fully leveled up. Boost status elements. Sure. Okay. Well, it's not bad for before the first boss. A Tempest shotgun. I do need to get the range up a little bit, but I haven't seen that in the Inferno stuff yet. Only one more level to go on the Shockwave protocol. It's not going to be as strong since it was the purple version and started as blue. But I think it'll do pretty well. There. That directly affects the Shockwave protocol's damage output. And we got the legendary version, so that makes up for the Shockwave protocol not being the yellow one to start. Alright, max level. Now we need range and more psionic boost. Neither of those were an explosion. There's the range. There's the range again. Get that thing all the way up to full screen. Melting him. Goodbye. Take the damage boost. Reroll that. Sure. Yeah, the jump between level 5 and level 6 is crazy. Another 27% stronger on the Shockwave. Got some boots. Might actually be an increase. Alright, we'll start on explosive round. Although I think the Shockwave reaches further than what the shotgun shoots. There we go. Damage up another 27%. Things just explode the second they come on screen. Now if I could just get this to work and give me all these things that I am trying to get on level 6, it'd be fine. Because I think the numbers are going to prove out that this is a ridiculously strong build if you get it operating early enough. Well, the range is bigger than the screen now. These are the guys that gave me trouble in the last game, that all the guys that just jump and explode. Add more damage. Movement speed, I guess. Yeah. Two minutes. I do love when a plan does come together. I just wish it had done it on level 6, so I could call that one done. Boss in 40 seconds. I'm looking forward to what else these guys are going to do with this game. New characters, some different abilities, that kind of stuff. Because through the first week, it's been really fun. Especially just trying to figure out the synergies between everything. Alright, hopefully this goes a little bit better than the first try. Yeah. Too easy on this level. I'll do one more run on level 6 and see if we can get everything functional on it early. Higher DPS shotgun, but 8 magazine. Doesn't work with what I'm doing. Gonna keep the bow 2 because on the bow character I don't have a whole bunch of oranges. Still working on that one. Alright, let's do that again, but on the level we want to do it on. No corrosive, no frost. There's Inferno. Blue Shockwave again. Also, I'm gonna start banning early to try to make things show up. Stupid Mythic on a Lightning. And there's the Frost Shield. Alright, we got all of our bans out of the way. Guess we're going to have very strong Inferno rounds to start. Don't want any corrosive, don't want any lightning. That was a purple territory expansion. I probably should have taken that. Hey, what do you know? We failed on the gamble again. Get some more bans. Alright, we're just going to take the medic to lock in mech attack as the That's 3 more bans, 3 rerolls, 3 alterations, sure. There's our time field. I'll take a mythic. Plague spread. Damage bonus at 24% instead of 27%. Yeah, we'll take the purple version. That was kind of a lucky, perfect dodge there. I'll just keep taking the time field and getting it, the cooldown shorter. I thought we desperately need way more damage. Getting a little bit more with the shockwave. But it's not even killing the normals yet. It's disturbing. could use some size on it too. Chance for 500% damage. There's a double up of damage. Right before the boss. Good. Decent damage, I guess. If I could dodge. I think we're gonna need both lives for the final boss. There's a perfect dodge. There's two. As soon as he stops his charge, then I'll use the time field again. Got to dodge. This is going well so far. Didn't get the dodge, lost a life. Spoke too soon. Well, lost one life. Fairly certain that's a shotgun. Yeah. Same as this one, lower DPS. Ricochet instead of chill. Well, thanks. Went better than the first time we tried this. That hurt. That took a life. Damn it. Alright, I think we're maxed there. We just need to up the damage and the range. And I still don't think I've seen the range. I hope I did not accidentally ban it. Hey, there's an android. It has to be banished. I'll have to look back at the replay and see if I banished it. It's getting a little hairy. Well, I don't think we've got what we need to beat this boss. Here goes. Yeah, even with the time zone or time field, that is crazy. All right, everybody who's here. Hate to end it on a loss, but we're at 2 hours, and I may cut some of these up into videos. I've been recording all the gameplay. If people are interested, let me know. But yeah, pretty fun game. Been out for about a week, and I seem to be right up there with most of the gaming channels on progressions, so figured I would throw it on for the evening. Hope everybody has a great weekend. We will see you tomorrow night for the bullpen, 8 o'clock Mountain Time. Catch everybody later. Have a good one.